am about this close. You hear me? This close to quitting and giving up on my dreams, but I can't and I won't. And here's why. Hello beautiful people, my name is Savannah, but internet I go by SavvyC, and welcome back to SavvyC Scoop. As you can tell by today's title and thumbnail, today's video is a bit different. It's a bit of a mix between Storytime with SavvyC and a video diary, which I've never done before on my channel, and today I felt the urge to do so, and I was in the sharing mood, if you will. It's been a bit difficult lately for me to journal, which is always my go-to way of expressing myself and my feelings. And I just haven't been able to write down formally and just sit with those words. And so I just had the idea of like, let me just make like a video diary entry and post it now and share this now so that future Savannah can look back on it and, you know, reflect and see how far I've come from this moment in this just current mental state that I am in now. But before we get into it, for this detail, what I've been up to lately, if you are one, a fellow tea drinker, get a little something with me. We can drink together as we talk. And two, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more, and comment down below as you're watching this, and just let's keep this conversation going, because I feel like I know I can't be the only one going through such a mental state and a life change and transition chapter. So I'd just love to hear from you guys and your thoughts on this, or perhaps maybe you've already gone through this, which, you know, please help us out. Comment below any advice to your stories, and I think it would be beneficial for all of us to just realize we're not alone in going through this. But let me stop talking and let's just get into it. So basically, consider this video a part 2 / follow-up from January's big life update, which I'll put up here if you have or have not seen it. And in that video, it was my first video of the year. I was like, ooh, new year, new me, you know, the usual. This is life post-school. I came to Paris initially to get my master's degree. I finished and took my last exam December 15th of 2021, and I graduated in May, which I'm very excited about. And I was like, well, this is life. No classes, no formal job, no internship, like nothing, like just me being in charge of my schedule and deciding things and building my schedule, and thus building my life outside of the school context, outside of a structured, institutional driven context. And now that we're 2 months in, about to be April in a few weeks, it was a few months, in a few weeks, it's scary, let me not lie, it's scary. And it's not only is it scary, it's just so tempting to want to give up. And what I'm thinking about and what I'm so tempted to give up are my creative and entrepreneurial dreams and visions and pursuits. I, like you, I'm sure in some form or fashion, have such a vivid imagination and an idea and just a concept that you and only you, I feel like, can just see so clearly and articulate so well, and just be like, no, you don't understand, like you don't get it, you don't get it, like you understand but you don't get it, you know. And I have that with my channel, with wanting to start a business and a bunch of other things, but it's just like trying to make it happen. I know it will be tough, of course, you know, moving to Paris in the middle of the pandemic is tough, getting a master's degree is tough, being a woman in this world is tough, living through a pandemic in your early 20s is tough. But I think what I wasn't prepared for at all, what no one could have really warned me for, was how challenging it would be. I feel like I can handle tough, and I think my arms are, you know, not the biggest, but, you know, I'm strong. But just the challenges and just you just take one step forward and it just feels like 10,000 steps back. I'm being quite hyperbolic in that, but you feel like you just make some progress and then just, you know, get knocked back. That part of all of this has been just so really overwhelming at times, and being like, well, why do I even try? Why do I even try when this is what's going on? And why I wanted to make this video and why I just wanted to get this off my chest is because I feel like, you know, there's like your higher self, right? Of like your higher self, the one that like manifests things, the one that's like always rooting for you, then like kind of the messy one from like your past. Or not like lower self, you know, kind of the messy one. The, you know, two people on your shoulders type thing. And let's say the higher self, SavvyC, Savannah, is just like, girl, we're almost there. We are so close. You're doing so well. It's gonna happen. You're gonna laugh about this one day. And also I want to document this. But on the other side, it's just like, girl, again, why are we going through this? Why is this taking too long? Why am I so tired? Why am I broke? Why is my bank account looking like this? And it's just like that constant battle between the two. And it just ultimately feels like, as someone who has both of those mindsets and dialogue, you know, battling back and forth on a daily basis, it feels like these days, of just like knowing that I'm so close to the breakthrough, but not, and I'll never know, not knowing it, I'll never know when it will happen. And that really bugs me, because again, as someone who has been a student in some form or fashion full-time from 2001 to 2021, 20 years, 2 decades, where things are really structured and quote unquote guaranteed. And, you know, if you do this, that, you know, if you do ABC, then you'll get this. If you go to X and pursue Y, you'll end up with Z. But now, especially with creativity and mixing that in with business, there's virtually, I mean, there's no guarantees in life, period, but it's really like, it's not even like, oh, it's predictable. Like it never, it's just an opportunity comes and that leads one thing to another, and you just never know when it's gonna happen. But you just have to prepare and be ready, and just when that moment hits, then you have to just, you know, go for it. And just waiting for that breakthrough and pursuing that breakthrough, and just waking up and doing this, waking up and writing down ideas, waking up and doing my research, waking up and learning French more, and, you know, boosting my fluency, etc. And some days I'm just like, I'm not feeling it, like I'm just wasting my time. And it's just like, it's just really just frustrating and tiring, because just it feels like I'm doing all this work and all these things, and like I'm seeing it pay off. I mean, all of you watching this and more. But then at the same time, it's just like, what am I doing? Like I just feel a bit foolish. It's ironic because it took so much to build my confidence into even mentioning to people, a complete stranger, that I have a YouTube channel. It took so much confidence and trust in myself to film and make these videos week after week, time after time. It took so much confidence to say to people out loud that I'm moving to Paris in a pandemic to get my master's degree by myself. You know, it took all these things, but like I did it and I made it through. But I think sometimes I still kind of forget, or it's just a different type of arena, if you will. It's a different, like ball game arena. You can rely on those past experiences and those tests that you pass. But the same time, part of me is like conflicted of, well, what do I do now? Like, how do I was like, okay, yes, I moved to Paris. Yes, I got my master's. I finished my credits. I'm about to graduate in May, but what they gotta do with X, Y, Z coming up, you know? And it is just ultimately tough, and just quite the mental battle, and just a challenge that I just was not prepared for. And really, now I want to document this and talk to you guys about it, and what really spurred it in my mind and inspired me to really just film this was, ironically enough, the Genius trilogy about good old Kanye West, Mr. West, which as a Black American, you know, sometimes he's a tough character. I definitely miss the old Kanye, I'll just say it like that. But and watching that trilogy, which I highly recommend watching, it's on Netflix. Really, really worthwhile and really easy to watch all the way through. Just watching, I would say especially just part 1, but into part 2 as well, but especially part 1. For those who don't know, it documents Kanye's West's journey from way before fame, where he just was, not just, but when he like broke out in the scene of producing on Blueprint, to modern day, where, you know, we know what's going on with him now. And, or it's kind of hard. Maybe if you don't, wow, congrats to you if you don't know what's going on. I applaud your media dodging, if you will. And watching that, especially part one, like I mentioned earlier, it was really eye-opening and really just affirming too, and motivating to just see a young Kanye, like right before the accident too, which is crazy because I realized I never heard his voice that much before the accident and the car accident. And just seeing him, I mean, in the Rockefeller Records offices, going from office to office, rapping, playing his demos, seeing him in the studio at his apartment, seeing him go to radio shows, seeing him trying to talk to people, trying to get on MTV, trying to get on this conference bill, getting all these things. And as a viewer, we know what happens on the other side of this. You know, we know that the second the College Dropout, you know, releases, everything's gonna change. The world's gonna finally, you know, catch up and realize what this guy has been, you know, sitting on. The guy with the backpack, as Jimmy Fox ever would call him. And I think, yeah, the backpack of the busted jaw, what this guy is capable of, and that he is so much more than just a producer from Chicago. And I really have to say that, one, I really related to that and can see that of, again, we don't know because we're living our lives when that moment's gonna happen and what it's gonna take to get there. But we know that everything we go through, literally from day one, gives us context and preparation and a background and character development, and again, just skills and talents and just our uniqueness that once, you know, the moment happens, which I don't know if there'll ever be a moment. I think it's just maybe a string of things, but looking back, you can see what was the exact moment. But whenever that time comes, it's like, okay, literally, I've been preparing for this day my whole life. And once that time comes, then, you know, you can take off and go from there. But you never know when that day comes. And so, but it was really interesting as like a viewer, as a Black American, someone who grew up listening to Kanye, listening to rap, R&B. I know when the moments come. We all can see it. You can see. And same with Cootie. I mean, he literally, like, and I kind of relate to him as well of just documenting things. You know, I have my YouTube channel of really just documenting my 20s and my life in Paris. And I didn't think I'd stay here past school and really love my life here and actually learn French and can express myself and talk to complete strangers and have conversations, etc. And in documenting this, I am trying to just, just document and see where my day comes, if you will. And, but again, just to circle back and why I bring this all up and I bring College Dropout up, the College Dropout up is because it took all of that. It took a car accident, it took his upbringing, it took, you know, all, you know, people that he grew up admiring, just kind of like changing up on him a little bit. It took all these things for him to get to that moment. It took Dame Dash not believing him at first, it kind of icing him out. It took, you know, all these things to get to the release day of College Dropout and thus his life changing, the Grammy wins, etc. And so yeah, so just as a fellow Black American creative, as someone who has just so many visions and ideas and can articulate them a bit better now, but knows that it's just for me in the most respectful way possible, just like whatever you do, whatever your gifts are, whatever your passion is just for you. I can support it, I can rock with it, but I can't fully understand it. And I think that's just been at the root of things too, being so challenging of like when you do something with just a bit, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, it's weird though, because with innovation, it's like nothing new under the sun, but there is something new to it. So I think it's maybe more of like, maybe we should change that phrase of like nothing super new under the sun, I don't know, but like there is always something new. There's a new element, there's a new interpretation, a new approach, a new face behind it, a new, I don't know, demographic, etc. that's behind things that I think we don't talk about and address. And yeah, so it's just kind of hard when especially too as a foreigner doing this. Like sometimes I'm like, if I just lived in the States, they would be a little easier. They would be a bit easier. But of course I don't. So I love me a good challenge, even though I complain about it right now, kind of repenting about it. But I do quite enjoy a challenge, and when things are too easy, I'm quite bored, if I'm being honest with myself. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling a bit too much. Let me take a little sip before I continue. Yeah, just overall documenting this for future Savannah, and knowing that the day that I've been preparing for my whole life is coming soon. Soon could be tomorrow, could be next week, 3 months from now, 8 months from now, whatever. But that day is coming. And I guess let me speak to future Savannah for now. Hey girl, what's up? It's SavvyC. Hey future SavvyC, what's up girl? Right now, girl, you struggling a bit. the bank account is not looking too hot. You're struggling, but you're still in Paris, which is great. You're still surviving, and you're making it day to day, but you are making it day to day. Rather than planning out your weeks, you just wake up and plan your day as best you can, and just do your best to not let any financial stress, current event stress, and anything else in between weigh you down and slow you down. But just know that right now it's a bit hard to take action right now, but I know that by taking action now, in the past, as you're watching this in the future, it'll make your life a lot easier. So I just hope that when you see this later on in the future, it will be nostalgic and kind of funny to watch, so you could laugh as you watch this. Girl, I hope you can laugh about this. Be like, remember where you were at? Yes, I remember. And you are exceeding your wildest dreams, and your life is the personification of exceeding wildest dreams, and just being an abundance of blessings and all manifestations, and just being a wealth of, it's not like monetarily wealth, like just of knowledge and of community and of resources, and just being able to really do and fulfill everything that you were called and put on this earth to do. And I just am so excited for us. I'm so excited for you, girl. Cheers to you, sis. Kind of, we gonna be sick of me. Prepare to be sick of me. Be sick of us. And I can't wait to see when that day comes. Kind of, it's gonna come soon, girl. I ain't gotta watch, but it's gonna come soon. That watch says soon now. You see? You see what I say? Soon. All right. And yeah, that's all. So sending much love from past SavvyC. Alright, so that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for sticking around and watching to the end. And let me know in the comments below. Continue the conversation if you're feeling this way as well, if you're going through something similar. It doesn't have to be in a similar context like me, but maybe with a job or wanting to make a move, or just something in general. You just feel like things are about to change. You just feel like you're at your wit's end, but you're so close that you know that quitting won't, it'll just be worse. Honestly, like you're too deep in it now that quitting wouldn't be worth it. So please let me know. So honestly, I could feel comfortable and comforted that I'm not the only one going through such thoughts and opinions and ideas during this time. Hit the like button if you like this, subscribe for more. And as always, I'm sending my love to wherever you are in the world if you're watching this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!